Well, hello there, world, in that glass shattering. Of course, this is the Shattering the Glass Ceiling show. I'm Bettina Carey, your host, and I'm CEO and founder of We Empower You, the global community, and weempoweryourlife.com, the website. And we're live on Rainier Avenue Radio. That's where we're going to help you to shatter your glass ceilings right here down to the floor. So today's topic is all about money. Do you stress around money or have had a breakup or divorce because of money? Well, lots of people have. And if you're one of them, you're going to want to listen up to today's guest. Rita Bacuzzi is a financial intelligence expert. She is passionately committed to guiding women to achieve financial peace of mind that includes transforming money conversations and releasing money confusion, expanding financial knowledge, and building confidence regarding money and wealth. Rita is a proven professional who's leading the movement to raise your financial intelligence and scale financial freedom. She educates, empowers women to achieve financial independence by getting to core issues on how women relate to money, along with teaching practical strategies. She's the CEO of Flourish Inc. and partnered with Five Rings Financial. Rita is a board member of the Bloom Again Foundation, a Rotarian and Seroptimist. Lovingly known as Mama Rita Money, she leads Wine, Women, and Wealth events and Money 101 educational workshops, which are all free. Welcome back, Rita. It's so great to have you back in the show.
So wonderful to be here, Bettina. I'm super excited. I'm always glad to show up on your show. And the amazing thing that I think what we get to do in the world is empower people,
I know.
empower women, empower men to see and do what's sometimes the impossible that becomes possible.
That's right.
Especially when it comes to money and money learning.
And we are speaking the same language, you and I, and have been since we met in 2020. You're a We Empower You member, but you are on a mission and a journey. You call it a money education movement, both in spirit and in reality. And what is your money movement education program really all about, so that folks can get in touch with you about what your bigger vision is for the planet around money?
Thank you for asking that and sharing that. Yes, the heart of my passion is this, what I call a money education movement. And just a quick step back is that, years ago, I ended up getting cancer 11 years ago. Actually, it'll be 12. I'll be in remission 12 years this coming January. And that was a really great wake-up call for me, because I had two young children, junior high, high school, and getting knocked down with cancer, and then being that financial breadwinner and then becoming the financial burden. That was the story that was going on in my head. And I really thought, what, I never want this to happen to another family ever again. And if I can help it and create the change, then that's my life's mission. So, we can't keep on waiting for schools, because this is the most common misnomer, is that schools are going to save us from this, or the government's going to save us from this. And while I'm going to say we're blessed to be in a great country where we have these things, we can't be complacent about it. And I don't want people to wait till they have a kick in the pants like I got to be able to move. So what we really get to do is explore. So when you think of the programs that I've created, because for me, the exploring took 12 years and multiple six-figure of investing and researching time and money. So I wanted to condense that for everybody. I wanted it to be accessible to everyone, right? Not just the wealthy people. And we get to be in charge of our own personal economy. The first way we do that is exploring, digging deep into our value system, things that financial professionals really never get into. One, because they've never been taught. Because you and I could talk money, right, Bettina? And you and I are on the same page. However, someone who's not comfortable with that, it becomes a challenge. It becomes this barrier. So we get to break through these stories. But when we anchor ourselves with knowing our core values, it becomes easier. It becomes this guiding compass. And we get to break through old belief systems to then transform to that empowerment piece, where we're learning to connect with our relationship with money, right? Maybe those love languages, they're not just for your personal relationship, they're for your personal relationship with money, right? Like your life partner, it's with us, it's every part of our being in our lives, and it grows with us as we grow with it if we allow it to. And
Yes.
so basic learning that becomes rinse repeat, and then we get to elevate. Just it becomes a rinse repeat system. It's almost learning, like learning a job where you're like, you go to the job and you're all confident, and then you get there and you're like, I hope I can really do this, and you can.
Yeah.
And so I know that it's possible. My big dream that is to have 5 million people educated in the next 5 years, 5 and 5. And this merely just by sharing information and creating win-win situations. A lot like your model, which inspired me of We Empower You. So this is when you align with great people, create team, build one another up, each one of us expands and then we help other people. And I call that leveling up, transforming to flourishing and blossoming with being fulfilled around money, whatever that means to you. It, you know, everybody has a different definition of being rich, and maybe a different definition of being wealth. And having wealth, my definition of wealth, as you know, includes health. Because if we're not healthy, then we don't have anything.
Absolutely. I mean, I come from a health background, so I can relate to having taken care of people who ended up having less money because they didn't take care of their health. And that is a very important thing. So let's go a little bit deeper into that. So
Mhm.
you had your bout with cancer, and hopefully this is gone and forevermore.
Gone
And
forever.
it's going on 12 years. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And so this obviously you had some resources to rely on. You may or may not have had your life insurance together at that time. You caught yourself just before you fell, and obviously you're flourishing now. So, what can you say to someone who's on the fence? You know, they have maybe some health issues they're a little bit concerned about, but nothing's really kind of flushed out. Is that a good time to go ahead and sign up with you and start
So I'm
talking to
going to
you
say
about solutions?
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because what happens is it's what we don't know is hurting us. So no matter where you're at, I mean, it's always better. So, and I'm going to take a quick step back. There are different types of plans. And depending on what your situation is, that's where you get to look at. I call that, we have GPSs to tell us where we're starting from. I call that your FPS, your financial positioning system. So if you're already having things, some choices may be off the table. So it's always better, really, there's a sense of urgency to do it ahead of time. So to step back in time, like you were asking, so when I got cancer, I actually started learning about something called living benefits. And not all living benefits provided by companies are the same. And so this is where I say exploration is needed to get to the divine details, right? Divine and enlightens us. And I like putting positive spin on things because I want to have a positive connection with money because it really makes a difference in how it's connected to you and how you receive it energetically, which also relates to your health. So for me, what I had in place is, my parents taught me how to save. It was a good girl. I actually started a retirement plan at 18, set everything in motion, was learned a lot. That helped me not go into bankruptcy. And bankruptcies due to medical related issues are over 60% in our nation. Business loss is 48% due to medical related issues. Home loss is 50%. This is a silent epidemic. If we do not bring it to light now and we don't know the missing pieces, we could be the next one. Or we can totally transform. Oh, lost your voice. Mute. Go
Sorry, I had a fire engine going by. So if you don't want to be bankrupt,
No,
you don't want to lose your business,
right.
and you don't want to have zero money in your bank account, now's the time to take
Now,
action. So one of your, I would call them clients, but probably beyond that at this point, wrote, her name is Tammy Reese, and you get a lot of 5-star reviews. So Tammy wrote, working with Rita has opened my eyes to a new way of understanding money and how to protect it. She has customized a plan that will work for me personally and truly cares about my well-being. I am so thankful for the tools that she has taught me to build my foundation and secure my financial future. And I would love it if you would share a little bit about how you help someone open their eyes to their personal plan that leads them to wealth.
Well, for me, it's about building that relationship, right? So when you get to know someone, because deep down they know themselves, and sometimes sometimes we say things where we don't really hear them, and so we're in the woods, so we can't see the forest for the trees. So when we get to know each other, and I get to know really their true goals, like what's the purpose of your money? And I really want everybody in the audience to ask themselves the question, because every dollar works for you. It's an employee for hire, right? And you have this big office building with different levels, and each level is a department, and it could be the department where it's for the flow of your money, your day-to-day expenses. It could be the retirement money so that you never have to outlive your money. It could be the tax strategizing dollars where, we love the country we live in, but we don't like paying this uncle that you and I all have in common. So what is the purpose of your dollars, and what are the dream goals that you want to get to? Because when we stop dreaming and we stop putting that as part of the relationship, imagine being in a relationship where you never explored, dreamed, or had fun.
Yes, I find that the bigger
a lot of people's money relationship.
Yeah, the bigger my dreams get, the more money I make for those dreams. Now, there was a time when that wasn't always the case, right? You have to match up the planning and the action steps with the dreaming. Otherwise, it's just pipe dreams, right?
Exactly.
So one and one makes two, but it's the plus symbol there that makes the two. What is it that you're going to do? And so working with someone like you, folks will end up with a personal plan that you put together based on your interview, but based on the information that you learn. Everybody's different. Nobody's the same. You're tackling the same problems, but obviously not the same answers in every case. So you also talk about there's a little known secret to being wealthy. What is it?
It's really being open to learning what you don't know. Because I can tell you, I speak with
don't know what you don't know, right?
You don't know what you don't know. And that's usually what's hurting people, right? So you talked about two things. Is we talk about planning around money, but when someone's doing a structure of any sort that can be a solid structure, they get to do a criteria to the planning. And this is what I call the bigness. Because if you are connecting with a financial professional and you don't know what your criteria is for what you're doing, that includes fun stuff, by the way, then you've had a big miss. And so it's kind of like that compass that's just a couple degrees off, but you end up in a whole nother continent. So financial positioning criterias and even mind mapping, what I call your financial DNA imprint, so that you can, for those of us that are visual, I'm very visual. So it's about the leveling up your financial intelligence, which is the auditory repetition, the visual connection to the scene, honestly, writing things down, connecting with mantras and affirmations. It's this holistic view, but then it gets to be from holistic to simplistic.
Yes.
And it gets to be really, really fun. And you know what? The other thing is I'm creating a community called a possibilitarian accountability community, right? So you get with like-minded people because we all need each other.
Yeah, accountability is really key in my world for sure. And so, I actually dreamed really a big dream the last 8 months. I've been putting out there with people that I'm holding myself accountable to, saying that I want to move into a community. This is a community that I've come to know over the last 5 years. And lo and behold, last weekend, I managed to find the perfect place for me to land. And it's going to happen. I'm going to be where I'm going to be because I put out the dream. I started to vocalize it and declare it out in the public. And that makes me more accountable to actually making something happen. And given that I've been here 8.5 years in the Seattle downtown area here on Capitol Hill, I have to say that it was going to be a really big stretch for me to make this happen. And again, lining up that plan, lining up all of the things that you need to make things happen is really, really key. So you have also talked a little bit about wealthy people. And, that word can sometimes turn people off. They have maybe some money story about what the word wealth means. And for me, what wealth means is I get to be a philanthropist. I get to give money away. That's really what wealth means for me, as opposed to having to need it all the time for myself. So what do wealthy people do have and keep on so that they end up having more money than most people? What do you think they do?
So what they do typically is they continue being educated. They are lifelong learners for sure. So they never stop learning. They also are open to listening and receiving and processing information and then acting on it. So their attitudes match their activities and they are aligned and they are laser focused. So let's see, you said, what do we do? What do they do? Have?
Yeah, so, and be, pretty much. Be.
So the having isn't always about material possessions, because I can tell you there are some that live so simplistically. And wealth is, again, not necessarily this amassed number. Usually they are philanthropic. That's where I see the most is like how much more they can give back. How much more can they share? Can they build a hospital? Can they build a program to help disabled children? What is it that they can give back? They are being givers. They're true givers in the true sense of the word and in the world. What do they have? They have amazing relationships, confidence, courage with themselves, and strong core values that they keep aligned. I call that, your core value compass, where mine is love at the heart, because that's the dial. Right? Integrity and wisdom is at the top, because we always get to be learning. Community is like my right hand, because sometimes I need people and I need to build a team to support me. And sometimes I'm there for that community. So it's this reciprocity is big. Supporting one another is big. And then my faith for me is my left-hand side. That's my heart. That's my driver. My faith is all about love, which is interconnected to that centering. And then wealth is health, like I said, and the money that I can put back into the world to give back to help foundations like Bloom Again Foundation, which helps low-income women with health equity, get immediate relief. So when I can see a woman who is single, raising a child, she has probably been a caretaker to somebody and she gets sick, she has no resources. So to be able to be part of a board where I can sign off and say, yep, we've got her rent covered for the next 3 to 6 months. It's already paid to the landlord within 72 hours, and she can focus on being healthy. Oh,
that's amazing, Rita. That's
and we
really
can create those own systems for ourselves.
Yes. Which brings me to you're lovingly known as Mama Rita Money. We're going to go to your website where folks can see you leading the Wine, Women, and Wealth events and the Money 101 educational workshops, which you do for free. Yes. So tell us a little bit about those that you have coming up, and recognize that this may be seen 6 months from now or a year from now. Yeah. Do you have them quarterly, monthly?
I have them typically monthly. Right now they're in the greater Los Angeles County area. I do collaborate with businesses to do them if they want to do them for their employees. I technically do them at businesses, sometimes private homes. Like this weekend, we're going to be a private home, but we're going to have about 50 gals there, like-minded, that just want to connect, collaborate, and have a little bit of a conversation where we're feeling safe so that we can build that security around money, have an amazing relationship. But I alternate. You can go to my Instagram and see all my programs. But Wine, Woman, Wealth is free because it's kind of like dipping your toes and then just building strong bonds and connections with other women in your community. And you do not have to be an entrepreneur. I get a lot of out of state people, especially, LA. We have so many people flying in and learning new things. We get to just be these women who, when I think of women of wealth, it's really enriching each other with our stories and our support and sharing with one another. And I think my favorite thing about Wine Woman Wealth is we all get to share one thing that's fabulous about ourselves. And it's amazing to see the transformation once every woman has shared one thing that's fabulous about themselves. And some women do have struggles with even sharing that because of what they've been told. So it's just one baby step at a time.
Those money
stories fun while you're doing it.
In the way, right?
Yeah.
So obviously folks are going to want to go to your website, mammaritamoney.com. They can book a consultation with you right there. They can look at your calendar of events. So that's really great. So Rita, I know we're going to get your last thoughts here shortly, but what do you believe that you wish you had known yesterday that you know now, of course, but you wish that you had known it yesterday, so to speak?
Really, it's key principles that have been the foundation forever. Literally three simple principles around saving money and three principles around protecting money. And if I had known that 20, 30, 40 years ago, literally, I likely would be a millionaire, if not multimillionaire, because I would have never lost the millions that I've lost and lost everything that I protected, having to tap into home, retirement, reserves, so that I didn't have to be bankrupt. So those three principles, power of compound interest, right? So is your money compounding or rebounding? That's a big question right now, especially with the looming recession. And are you going to be one of those people that thinks that you're going to be taken down by the recession? Are you empowering yourself to have your own personal economy of progression? It's a choice. Those are just a few. Learning time value of money, and having learned it at 18 before I learned about credit cards would have been really nice.
No kidding, right?
Right.
Well, I look to my mother. My mother has been a senior citizen. She's going to be, she just turned 89. My dad passed away in 2006. With her fixed income, she managed to pay off a home. Beautiful. And, she's got her long-term care insurance in place, and she's got access to that. Thankfully, we're going to turn that engine on now, as her needs are increasing. And these personal plans of saving and moving forward with living benefits and things like that, those are the things that you're good at, and that folks are going to want to tap into. Give us some of your final thoughts as we are about to end our show here today.
I think there's 5 E's to creating ease around money. The first E is be open to exploring. The second one is embrace right where you are so that you can grow and connect with somebody. Expand that knowledge by connecting, right? Go to my Instagram, click on my Money 101 video workshop, invest in you, expand, engage. So that's the engaging, right? Invest in you, engage in that time, because it will elevate so that you can celebrate and flourish and never live in regret. Never have where you have to tap into somebody else's plan to have you survive, or vice versa, so that this way you can flourish and be financially free. It's an amazing process, and I look forward to seeing as many people that have questions. Please book a free 30-minute consultation, and we can do just a really quick outline so that this way you can take your baby steps into the future and flourish financially.
And you're a member of the We Empower You community. Yes. What do you say about that?
So it's all about community. Because sometimes in life we can feel like we're by ourselves, and We Empower You really creates that community. Again, tapping into ultimate resources with like-minded women like Bettina, and really super powerful. And then it's not just about that, it's guys and gals, by the way. Yep. And the tools and the resources to take that next step and elevate. And I've been with the community for, I think we're going almost on 3 years now.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. And it's really just honestly a joy to engage and learn other details, like I learned from Bettina's model, to put into the part of the vision of what I had seen for my own model,
Yeah,
so that we
multiple
can get
streams
to
of
do this
income,
all
right?
together. Huh?
Multiple streams of income. That's what
Multiple
we're all
streams
about.
of income. It's all possible from home, legit.
Yes, there you go. Well, we've run out of time here for today, but I just want to say a great big thank you for joining us here, Rita. And
Thank
thanks
you.
everyone for watching, listening, and sharing this interview live on Rainier Avenue Radio. The show right after us is Afternoons with Monique. It's episode 102. She's already passed the 100 mark. I'm so happy for her. Congratulations, Monique. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bravo. Take care. Ciao for now.
Take care.